Good morning and welcome to Summit. It's the last week of January already. Wow. Well, good to have you join us. My name is Jumoke Michaels. You're welcome, Banji. Good to be at work.
Yeah, even though I'm not really a football enthusiast, what happened yesterday was not something to cheer about, Jumoke. Our crash, that's the loss to Tunisia, was something that was actually made Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians sad last night. We were a better team, prepared for it. At least our credentials, especially in the first round of the tournament, gave us a lead and then gave us an edge even over the rival Tunisia. Unfortunately, maybe luck was not on our side yesterday.
Well, you win some and
we
lose
crashed
some.
out of the African Cup of Nations yesterday, unexpected. Of course, many people outside Nigeria were actually disappointed. Oh, Nigeria, toasted and tipped for the cup. Unfortunately, it went the other way. So, well, those guys, you did your best. Just that your best wasn't good enough yesterday. Good morning. My name is Banji Busari. It's a fresh edition of the program.
Well, we win some and we lose some. So let's just, Nigerians now, we always have our way of forging ahead.
Consoling ourselves.
Yes. All right. So, well, today on the program, we'll be looking at two major national issues. If we have time, we'll take on a third. But majorly, we are looking at two, and we're looking at the subsidy removal, NLC planned protests. That's planned for the 1st of February. So we'll be looking at that. And then we'll be looking at the Electoral Act Amendment Bill and the matters arising. So those are the two major issues we'll be discussing this morning. And we have a political technocrat here with us in the studio in the person of Dr. Dayo Kayode. Doctor, you're welcome.
Okay, should I say, should I officially say Happy New Year, Banji?
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
You're joining us the first time.
Yes, this is my first time of coming to your program.
It's our pleasure to have you here.
And then Happy New Year, viewers at home.
You're welcome.
I listened to your passing commentary and you say, yes, Giant of Africa, the way we played better. Have you forgotten that Yoruba, they always say, Kikiri labere kiri kishemi mifadiye. No matter how small a needle is, let a fowl go and swallow it, and then no one will happen. That is exactly what happened to us yesterday.
Did you underestimate Tunisians?
Yeah, you see, we always look at what you said. You said we play better. Our credentials. Is it about credentials or goals? It's not about credentials. It's about goals.
As I said, luck.
No, it's not about luck. No, luck. It's about one, proper training. Two, focus. The moment you lose, you know what happened yesterday now? When this guy was brought out, the guy that was giving red card.
Okay, Wobi.
Do you understand? The moment he was giving red card, we couldn't balance up again. We lost focus. We became destabilized. Do you understand? If to say yes, immediately he was brought out, the coach decides to say, okay, this guy is now out. Let us change our tactics. I mean, you need to have changed the tactics. So it's all over. Anyway, we are waiting for Ghana. We are waiting for Ghana because we are meeting Ghana for our qualification to World Cup, coming World Cup. So we are meeting Ghana. So let them learn a lesson from them so that I can be at the World Cup.
All right, so let's pick up the first topic, the issue of the subsidy removal and NLC planned protests. So also let our viewers know that you can be part of this conversation by sending an SMS to the number we'll display on the screen. Please let us have your name and your location where you're sending the message from, and we'll read it out from here in the studio. When the number is there, you can begin to send in your messages.
Well, we're going to look at this topic from different perspectives. People always say that when you do a certain thing over and over again, you see the same principles. You cannot expect a different result. Nigerians have always waited for NLC, Nigerian Labour Congress, to actually, lead them in protest or even be the ones to fight on their behalf to get some justice, so to speak, particularly in areas of petroleum price increase. This time around, NLC has risen a task again and has fixed a date that the subsidy removal being proposed by the federal government must not come to stay, like must not see the light of the day. Whether it's a speculative action or proactive, whichever way you may call it, NLC is set in its decision to actually stop the federal government to achieve the subsidy removal. So for that reason, February 1st of February is being set for the planned protest, and it's been doing a lot of mobilization and consultations across both the CSOs, the other NLC and the sister TUC, sister labor organization. But to start with, this is what the system we are familiar with. Do you think we can go any far using this method? Protest.
You know, I like to be very frank and sincere on this issue of NLC CSO protest. Me as a person, I don't have any iota of belief, and I repeat, and I'm talking from my own opinion, I don't have any iota of belief in both NLC and
TUC,
CSOs, civil society organizations, because we have had experiences with them in the past. Since the demise of Papa Imodu in Nigerian labor, I don't think we have ever seen, maybe during this other man, what's this Baba's name again? No, Osh. This segregation started openly during his tenure. You will see government will come out, they will increase maybe, let's say for instance, from 15 naira to 22 naira. Oshomola will come out, oh yeah, we no go agree, oh yeah, mobilization, hey, mobilization. People will have died. A lot of people will have been maimed. Then we now say, okay, let us go for negotiation. From 22 naira, they will now bring it maybe to 18 naira. You now come and say, we have won. What did you win? Why not back to that 15 naira? Because a lot of people have been killed, a lot of people have been maimed, a lot of businesses have been pumped. So, the only successful protest I ever seen, two of them in this country, are one, during that of Jonathan. First subsidy, whatever. It was total. NLC was not involved. NLC was not the one that championed it. CSO was not the one that championed it. Some individuals just gathered themselves together and said, this time around, no. Whatever shortcomings anybody might allude to NSA's protest, at least NSTAT protest was able to make a statement that yes, the people's voice must be heard at all times.
So those are the only two protests you can.
Aside from that, except you want me to go to 1945 or all those history during Madam Tinubu, this and that, Yalo de Egba, you understand, the one in Calabar, the one in Benin. Except you want us to go to that, but we are talking of contemporary times. Aside from those two, which one? Except you also want to talk about those ones being led by students within their educational environment. Any other, which other one? It is, let us look at even what happened during the last time. There was a rumor. People were carrying a rumor. That's why people they saw Ghana must go this and that. Okay, the money that the federal government promised the people that they want to do this, they want to do that. Where is it? Who did they give it to? Where is the project they promised? Sir, to me.
Okay, still along that line, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has also faulted this planned protest that NLC did not get it right, rather than actually match out people on protest. Now they should have concentrated on urging federal government to come up with modular refineries and all that.
I was about to go there. I was about to go there when you were talking about doing the same thing, the same time, getting the same results. Now, severally, right from when this issue of subsidy started, we do infrastructure, we use the money to improve our infrastructure, we use the money to turn around our refineries, we use the money to this, we use the money to that. Have they been doing it? And these are the things that Labour and so-called CSOs have been signing with government. Have they been able to follow it up? No. No. And so many of us have been saying, especially me, on all platforms, all these refineries we are calling illegal, are they not producing? They are producing now. So what is making it to be illegal? The moment you know what is making it to be illegal, remove that illegality and then put some other things, they stamp it legal. In the papers today now, they said that is it Rivers or Cross River? We're having about 112 illegal refineries. 112. So that means we have the technical know-how and capacity to be refining our crude in this country.
How are they refining?
But some people,
doing about it?
But some people are just being idiotic in their policy making. Not putting into consideration that, okay, we have been burning a lot of illegal refineries. Still, this thing have been springing up. What do we do?
Or rather find out how are they doing it? How are they creating
the
refineries?
They know.
This work is doable.
Most of them in government, in that area now, where were they coming from? Were they not coming from the people before then? Were they not in the society? Before joining government? They were in the society. So they know what exactly is happening. They know how to make all those things. Now they're in government. Instead of you to now say, okay, guys, come, let me improve, because I'm now in government, let me improve on this. And that's what I was trying to advise Nnamdi Kanu. You claim, because I don't know, you claim to have that followership. And then you claim to know how to have better government and deliver deliverables of democracy to the people. So why don't you turn that followership to a political movement and then occupy positions? Because I've been telling people, if you are too good in political agitation and you are leaving behind political participation, you will end up agitating till you die. So there must be a mixture of political agitation and political participation for the society to move forward. So put your people in offices, and then all your thinking, all your variables, all right, that you want to input into government to deliver dividends of democracy to the people, then your people will be able to execute it. All these modular refineries that some people are doing there, if you are in government, you will know that, okay, listen, guys, you are doing this way, no, it's not good enough. You are doing this way, no, it's not good enough. These are alternatives. Then it becomes legal. And then we stop importing from these people.
All right, let's look at the issue of the Nigerian governors. You know, they had a meeting, was it Friday? One of the issues they discussed was this issue of the fuel subsidy removal, talking about them engaging the NLC to avert these protests. And you know that the governors have not in any way previously said anything about these continuous fuel increase price.
They have said it before now. They have been engaging in it. They have been involved.
All right. Okay. So this time around that they want to engage NLC, do you envisage it actually being productive in any way?
See, there is nobody who doesn't know how to put meat in the mouth, and then some of it will stay there, or if not everything.
Or should they even be engaging NLC?
The issue is all these political office holders, they always want to perpetuate themselves in that office. And how do they do it? By further pauperizing the people, emaciating the people economically, educationally, health-wise, in all ramifications of life. So that the governors are trying to, they are not mediating for anything. No. Don't think they are. No. When they are meeting the NLC, they will be on the side of the federal government. If they know that they want to avert this, let them put their monthly security votes together and then be building modular refineries. Then we know that yes, they don't want strike. If truly, they want to avoid the strike, all these their monthly security votes, let them put all those things together. At least even half. You don't know how much it will be. How much is it to build one modular refinery? For how long can you can build a modular refinery within 9 months? Go and do that. Go and Google it. I have Googled it. You can do within 9 months. You know. So if they know they want to avert it, let them build modular refineries. Then let labor, civil society organization, if truly they are serious. Hey, look, Mr. Man, nobody is doing anything again until we have that thing in place. These are things they're supposed to have done before now. Because for how long are we going to continue this way, Banji?
Now, this
for
is
how long?
We're in January, and the federal government, they've spoken at different times, stating that whether or not the subsidy is going to be removed, the decision has not been taken.
Exactly.
And
So much denials.
Even the question is, do we even have subsidy in place? Do we even have subsidy in place? It's a big question. Even when this government was
when you look at the landing costs vis-a-vis the price, the pump price, I mean, it is obvious that there's a gap. That gap, who is actually filling that gap? How is it being filled? Now, for the National Economic Council, NEC to have proposed 302 naira per litre, it shows that something is actually missing and they want to fill that gap. I mean, plug that hole. So definitely somebody is subsidizing.
Banji.
So how do we take care of that money, that gap between the landing cost and the... So
let's put it this way.
The question is that the move by NLC, is it not unnecessary? Because we are talking about June. Don't you think it's too preemptive?
Banji, let's put it this way. If the two of us are walking on the streets, we are walking together like this, you now hit your either left or right leg on the stone, and then the thing is bleeding. Who is to be held responsible? Will you hold me responsible? Or you hold yourself responsible that you are not looking? Because when you are on the road, when you are moving on the road, you are supposed to be looking. But when you are not looking, you now hit your leg. Do you want to blame it upon me? No. Why am I saying this? All this problem we are having today is based on two things. And I tell you, one, idiocy of the government. Two, kakistocratic thinking of the government. And I will explain. Idiocy in terms of, you know that this is what you have been doing for ages. This thing is not working. This thing is pressurizing your people. This thing is removing bread and butter from your people's table. This thing is not making you to have enough money to go into education, to give health care, to do roads, to do all those things, and you are still following same policy. Is that not idiotic? It is. Kakistocratic in terms of you knowing what is, you thinking or pretending that if you go this way, it won't happen. If you go this way, it won't happen. Do you know a lot of...
You are talking about options, having options.
It's not, I mean, I'm talking about what is bringing about these problems. The character, the attitude, the incompetence of government that is causing this problem. So are we now to bear the burden? Are the people to bear the burden? No. Because we have always been also telling them, what does it, I mean, will the petroleum minister tell me, or the president who the bulk stores by his table tell me, but look, it is costlier to transport crude oil from here outside the country to go and refine than to just put your pipe and then pump it to Port Harcourt refinery, or pump it to Warri refinery, or pump it to Kaduna refinery, or pump it to wherever refinery within the country. Will he say he doesn't know that? Two, will he tell me that he is not aware that all other residuals, aside from the PMS that they are bringing, all other residuals, will he want to tell me that he doesn't know that they are there? Or are they bringing it back to the country? Will he tell me that he doesn't know that all those things, if they are being refined here, and those residuals are here, we can use it to kickstart petrochemical industries? I don't know whether you understand. And if those things are there, will he want to tell me that he doesn't know the multiplier effect this will have on our economy and employment? No, these are issues. But and that's why I said kakistocratic thinking.
Well, the issue now is that the problem is already there. Like Banji said, that gap is already there. The gap is already there.
And that's why I'm saying, are we to bear the brunt? No. Let them now reduce. Let them reduce how much money they are spending on their profligacy.
Now, let's look at the Petroleum Industry Act that was celebrated recently. I mean, it's been long awaited, and eventually it landed. Nigerians were celebrating it.
I did not celebrate. Some Nigerians. Some of us did not celebrate it.
The controversy around the subsidy or otherwise. I mean, how do you think the PIA should address such a thing? It's supposed to. I mean, there's supposed to be a kind of
ease off.
Yes.
Let me even also put it to you. Look at Nupeng. Pengasa. They also have TUC. Do they want to tell me that they don't see what is happening? That they are not seeing it? What have they been saying as regards this? What has been their attitude towards all this? Because it's now a menace to us in Nigeria. Subsidy. They are now bringing in PIB, whatever. Of what significance?
It's no longer a bid, it's now an act.
You know, when they have made something to be highly, controversial and confusing, you just throw it at them, you throw it back at them. Okay? Now, of what importance? Everything written in that bill, talking about 30% derivative, talking about when you flare gas, the money, this one that you will pay, the other thing will go to federal government will now give 10% to whatever. All those things pulled together, to what extent is it talking about refining our crude in Nigeria? That is our bottom line. Because if you are refining our crude in Nigeria, all these things might not be necessary. So, because what we are talking about, all this includes landing costs, how much this one we take, how much that one we take, and all that. But the moment we are refining our this in here, nothing less than 90% of the problems will be solved. Nothing less than that.
Expenses will be.
All those expenses will be removed, totally removed. And between you and me, petroleum PML will not be more than 20 naira or 15 naira in this country per litre. It will be more than that.
What about those who are proposing for face removal? That instead of doing it totally, it can be done in phases. These are also some civil society organizations, mind you, who are suggesting this.
These are all aluwala ologbo ogbon ati keranje.
Because this problem is already there, and it's not something that can be resolved in 1 month.
It has been there before some people who are now grandmas were born. But then we refuse to solve the problem. How do we solve the problem? It's not about face removal or total removal or no removal. This government, before he came in, he said subsidy is a fraud. Nothing like subsidy. This and that. My guy in UI, late former petroleum minister, this virology professor, professor of virology, Tam David West, say even petroleum is not supposed to be selling more than so much. Where is it? The only solution, my dear, the only solution, the only way out is by having our refineries. Period. And not even leaving this refinery in the hands of one person. It's still not yet a solution. Not leaving it in the hand of one person.
Are you talking about privatizing it?
Sure, let different people be involved.
All right, please just hold
different people, let them be involved.
All right, please, what we ask for is SMS. Just send an SMS to share your opinion or view on this issue we are discussing. The line is ringing, but I can't pick. Just send an SMS with your name and your location, and we'll read out your message from here. Just a few words will just do. Thank you.
Now, NSC said, like I said earlier, is on this planned protest. Like I don't know if you have answered that question, that whether that move is not preemptive between now and June. Of course, federal government has not really told us it has started the subsidy removal. What practical steps can actually be taken between now and June? At least the Minister of State has said that Silva has said the NLC's action is unnecessary. How can they really engage the government if they don't want to go that route? As to go on the protest.
Yeah, you see, it's just the only way out all over the world. Protest. When you are not ready to listen to the people, the only way people can show they are listening is by causing disruption. Let's use that word, disruption. It happened in Hong Kong, it happened in China, it happened in America, UK, everywhere. It's happening everywhere. But what is missing here in Nigeria's own is the bite. The bite is what is missing. If I come to your house, I know that your dog likes barking. I just look at. But if I have seen that dog bite 1, 2, 3 people before, Banji, please, I miss time I cannot come out. First of all, go and hold down your dog. Do you understand? But because they know that both NLC and so we only back without putting that bite, they will do what they want to do. Now, talking about whether being preemptive.
You think biting, I don't know what you mean by biting now. Grounding the economy? Or how do they want?
There are so many ways.
Keeping to their threat.
There are so many ways in which NLC
in this so-called challenge battered economy.
Listen, there are so many ways in which they can bite. Before now, if they go on meeting to have a dialogue, all those things they were put there. Okay, we are withdrawing, but then we do this within 3 months, this one within 4 months, this one within 5 months. You know, action plans with timelines. All right, have they been doing that in the past? I don't know. If they have been doing it in the past, where are the results? Have they been able to follow it up? So what I'm saying is, essence is this: you can bite by dialogue, then put action plans and timelines and ensure that you follow it to letters. But the moment you see that number one, he has missed number one, he refused to follow number one, you signed for about 6-7 steps and you are missing number one, immediately you pick it up. Ogbeni, you can't move further, I won't allow you. That is part of biting. Biting can also come in terms of, all right, look, we have 6 months. Let's go back to what we signed the other time. You were talking about our refinery reward.
Salary increase.
Not even salary increase.
That one is still pending.
Oh, let's even look at the petroleum issue. refineries, you say they will work. They are not working. Why are they not working? Within the next 6 months, we want them to be producing at least 35% capacity. If we have all our refineries working 35% capacity between now and the next 6 months, my brother, I will even go against them to go on that strike. So we will know that yes, we have moved a step forward. We can now say, okay, in another 3 months, if you can achieve this in another 3 months, we want it to be working 60% capacity. And if you don't do that, we occupy you straight away.
Who knows? Dangote's.
We are not talking. I'm not talking. That is a one-man business. I don't believe in that.
Before June, Dangote's.
May have come on. Either June or tomorrow. I don't believe in that. It's a one-man business.
Welcome. You're currently on DSTV Compact. Ready to step up?
Let's do it!
Congratulations! DSTV has stepped you up to DSTV Premium. Enjoy all your favorite channels like a boss.
Step up to the next level on us. Upgrade your current DSTV package and we'll step you up to the next highest package at no extra cost.
Apologize for that break in transmission. Well, the program is back, and thank you for still being there. So,
No,
I was saying I don't believe in that one because it is a one-man business.
It's
He can stand up. He can stand up. Listen, he can stand up tomorrow and say, "This is what I want to do." Who is going to protest? The other time when he gave federal government money for palliative as regards COVID, the following day he increased his prices. Who can go against him? He's the owner of his business now. The only thing you can do is boycott his product.
Right, but when
do
you,
you
talk
understand?
about, but when you talk about getting more people involved,
yes,
in that sector,
yes. The issue is this: it's not about privatization now. Listen, there was a news sometimes ago that I think 28 or 30 people were given licenses to start modular refinery, but how many of them can take off? Why can't they take off? Are they professionals? Do they know how to handle it? It's just like the issue of disco. When disco started and they were being given to who? Were they given to professionals? I just read in the paper today now that the one
IBEDC.
Is it the one belonging to Tayo Ayeni?
The one in Ibadan
has been taken over by
Amcon.
Amcon also. If you had given that one to a real professional, I mean, if you handle it the way it's supposed to handle it, I mean, you won't be seeing all these things happening. Look at it. In the middle of the program,
this,
is it supposed to be?
The forthcoming planned protest of NLC, how effective or how popular do you think that protest is likely to be?
For me, it cannot be popular on my side. And I know there are a lot of people that have been saying it. The NLC should just go and sit down the way we've been sitting down. Except, they now want to say, okay, we are sorry for what we have been doing in the past. This time around, let us join hands together. But if it is what NLC have been doing in the past, my brother, is going to be another, let's put it that way, ditto.
All right, let me just read these few messages we have with this first topic we are discussing. This person is Olushola from Akute. He says, this man is saying the truth. NLC and TUC are just looking for money from government, like they have been doing, right?
But I didn't say they are looking for money.
All right, then another person, he didn't tell us his name or where he's sending the message from, says, any government that cannot fix at least 3 refineries is a failed government. He said they should hand over the refineries to the private sector. Ms. Dr. Dayo Kayode doesn't seem to agree with that. This one, Ade from Ibadan, says, I love Mr. Dayo for his analysis. Mr. President, take Nigerians for fools. Where is the refinery promised to Nigerians? And $1 to 1 naira, President Buhari and his government, I don't want to say that. All right, so.
I'm not saying they shouldn't give it to private sector, but they should give it to professionals. People that knows, look how those guys setting up refineries without any government assistance. Look for them. Empower them.
That means they know.
Yeah, they know the nitty-gritty of it. They know how it operates. Empower them, train them further, and then let them take it up from there. You know.
All right. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, then we'll transit to the next topic now, but before then, we'll go on a quick break. We'll be back shortly. Please stay with us. Thanks for still being there. So we are transiting to the next topic now, which is matters arising concerning the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Okay.
Well, you are aware where where we were before the National Assembly went
on Christmas break.
Yes, break. They are back now, and the first task before them was the Electoral Bill that was going to be amended. Now, the clause there was what President Muhammadu said in the interview he granted some TV station, was that if that clause, that direct primary clause is removed, that he was willing to amend, give his assent. Now, the National Assembly, the bill is back with the National Assembly. What do you think should be done now before, so that this bill or this act can be used for 2023 elections?
I was also expecting the president to say that if they don't remove that clause talking about that you cannot take anybody to court with fake certificates, I was expecting to say they should also remove it. because everybody, we have the right to take anybody to court, to challenge what you are presenting as your qualification, because you must be qualified before you can get to some offices. All right? It was in the paper today. But he didn't ask them to remove that. You understand? Now, in the first instance, National Assembly has nothing to do with administration of political parties. The Constitution of Nigeria that established political parties had given them autonomy to manage is political parties. Okay. The political parties to manage their administration themselves. It's just like your house. It's different from my house. If you like, you will say it is only amala, ewedu and gbegiri that you eat, because it is your house. In my own house, I can say, look, I want to eat pounded yam 11 p.m.
Chinese.
But you will say Chinese. You could look like Chinese. Huh? Say Chinese.
You want to change my guest nationality?
No, but our name remains the same. Do you understand? Manage your own area, which is legislation of our as it concerns our constitution, fiscal policy, and all that. What concerns you concern whether party is using direct or indirect or whatever. It's been there. The wise people that sat down to write that constitution, they have emphasized that each day that breaks comes with its own complexities. And such complexities also needs different tactics to deal with such. Are you with me? And that's why they made a provision for either you use direct or indirect or consensus. That's why those options are there. Lagos said the other time, excuse me, when they wanted to do primaries for last gubernatorial candidates, the chieftains of the party, excuse me,
Sorry,
looked at it. If you should use this, so many people are contesting. Let us use this. Excuse me. Let us use this. And they change tactics. And at the end of the day, they achieve their result. There are instances where political parties have used consensus. So what are you talking about?
All right, so now that they've resumed, sorry, bless you. So now that they've resumed and gone ahead to correct those, is it errors? Let me know, but they're not errors.
They are the provisions.
The provisions. Okay, now they've corrected it. What do you envisage as a way forward? Sorry.
Well, the only way forward is, they have delved into where they are not supposed to delve in, and then definitely the president has said, if you can do it this way, if we assent to it, then let him assent to it. But I think what they're supposed to have been looking at should be beyond this. They should be talking about electronic voting. You should be in the comfort of your house and vote. Between you and me, a party has tried it. They have done that, I'm aware. They have done their conventions through electronic voting. Go and ask or Google it. Boot Party, BOOT, Boot Party. In Nigeria here, I know them very well. I interact with them very well. Their chairman, I interacted with the chairman around that early December period, and he told me how far they had gone with that electronic voting. He told me how much it cost them to have the package, and he even said they have proposed that package to INEC. So if INEC can see that, why is INEC not picking on it? I said, look, this is what we have been looking for.
With all the battle INEC is fighting, just to...
Because if you can translate to electronic voting, one, it will reduce time of processing. Two, it will reduce rigging. Three, it will reduce killings. Look at those NYSC chaps. that were killed at the polling units. That one might not have happened. It will reduce mayhem. And then it will make our elections to be more credible and acceptable in the international world.
Well, what will you say about INEC now saying that it will not release the election timetable except the Electoral Act amendment has been passed?
How about the other election timetable they released the other time? That was one they released on recent now. Last year.
No, they've not given us the timetable for it.
That one was for conventions and then primaries.
They were talking about when they will hold the presidential election, when they will hold the National Assembly election.
Or maybe it's
Did they not release something like that last year?
Timetable.
We have not got the timetable as to the elections. We are still awaiting the timetable.
I thought it was.
No, we are still awaiting.
Yeah. You see,
will they use that to hold the government?
INEC too should stand up to their billings. Before INEC starts operation, there was an act that created INEC. Okay, in that act, there are stipulations whereby they can do this, they can do that. They have powers to do some things. For instance, I think INEC within the article that created INEC should be able to determine whether they are using electronic voting or whether they are using this or whether they are using that. The only thing they can require from National Assembly is funding. Funding. Because they are the one that understands the logistics, not National Assembly. National Assembly is only having an oversight function, but that does not make them a professional. It's just for them to ensure that, okay, what you have given to us, you are following it accordingly. So I want INEC to rise up to their billing and then stand up and say, look, these are the powers given to us. We have authority to do this, we have authority to do that, and we have authority to do that again. So not until when they can stand up to themselves. This is what we be seeing.
So that further shows the fact that they are not truly independent.
That is it.
When you cannot stand to do what you are meant to do.
Exactly, that is it. INEC should stand up and be. The moment you are there now. The moment you are there, you are there. You're supposed to be independent of, without dancing to anybody's tune. You're supposed to be able to dictate your own tune that we dance to. Because it is you that knows the steps you want to take and how you want to take it. And that is why they have seen you to have merited that particular office.
The Electoral Act is being anticipated, that the assent is seen by many people as a kind of one act that will transform our electoral system. So much hope is actually being put into it. Do you see the act, when it's actually being assented to, being a foolproof or a guarantee to a
You already have
pushing words to my mouth. You yourself
I'm not. I'm asking you a question.
Let me tell you this.
I am asking you specifically. Is it a foolproof or a guarantee?
I said you know yourself.
A free, fair, and credible.
You know yourself.
I don't know. I'm asking. If I knew, I wouldn't invite you.
You know that in Yoruba, ilé tá bá fi tọ́mọ, ìrì ló máa ń wò.
I know such a proverb exists.
Do you know the meaning?
No, I want you to
I will tell you now, malice. There is malice somewhere, and I will show you. Building, when you use saliva, can you use saliva to turn your sand and cement together to build a house? No. Is it possible?
It's not possible.
Where there is malice, the malice that they say Rikishito Pampo Luma Tumoka, the malice that brought them together is the one that will also scatter them. Some people are looking at, okay, this person is gunning for this position. How do we stop him? Let us stop him through indirect primaries. Because of that, they brought it to our national discourse, which is not supposed to be. They use it to waste our money. They use it to waste our time. They use it to waste our resources. They even use it to make us look stupid to those people outside the world. That's just the only thing. Not that they are so sure of that if they really want this electoral act to improve our democracy or democratic process, let them talk about electronic voting. Look at them saying, no, you cannot transmit election through, electronically. Something that we have tried. Something that it is what was used that brought you to that particular office. You're now trying to go against this again. Are we supposed to move forward or to retrogress? It is retrogression. When somebody is saying electronic transfer of a result should be cancelled. No, it is retrogression. As a nation, a whole giant of Africa, the biggest population in the black race. We are at this point.
Yeah, but he's asking you that, will it change?
I said what they are doing is not going to change anything. That is exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't, because those things they are doing.
So why we
we're born out of my.
So why
who I'm not part of that because I know there is not. What they are doing is what we have been doing. We have been practicing before.
So if the president
there is nothing new.
Now,
there is nothing new. There is nothing new in what they are saying. Before now, we have had primaries through direct, indirect consensus. Before now, we have had electronic transmission of results. The only thing new is this one that came out in the paper today.
We've never had electronic transmission of results. We've not had it before. It is novel. It's novel.
Last election, are you with me, sir? Last election, they were transferring this thing electronically at the collation center, right? The rep will now bring the manual results. Yeah. They will now try as much as possible to make sure that the two tallies. And that was when Professor Jega was telling one professor, Professor, you cannot add 2 and 2 together again. And the professor was, okay, please. He did like this. Okay, please allow me. Because he knew something has happened along the line. So for us to foresaw that, let us. The only thing that is new in this one is this one. Where you cannot challenge anybody's result in the law court. I will challenge anybody. Let the person go and bring another 36 SAN to come and defend it.
That's why we should check the results before they get elected into office.
Do you understand? You will check your result. You want to know your competence. You want to know where you are coming from. You want to know what you have done in the past.
Let me just read this one message before we go. This is from Fidel Okonkwo from Warri, that's Delta State. He says, federal government is confused and speaking from both sides of the mouth. Buhari had said subsidy is a fraud and doesn't exist. NLC is a lame duck. That's from Fidel from Warri. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kayode, for making our program quite lively and interesting this morning. And for all those who sent messages, we thank you for being a part of the program. My name is Jumoke Michaels. We'll be back on Wednesday for our midweek edition of the program. So join us again at 11 a.m. Have a nice day.
Well, we're saying to NLC, tread softly, and they do a lot of consultation to actually determine whether Nigerians are ready for another protest. See you again on Wednesday.